Hello vinyl community, my name's Brad. This is my first video for the vinyl community. I've been watching your videos now for about a year and I thought I'd give it a go myself. Got lots of records, lots of tales to tell about them, hopefully that you'll find interesting. So I thought what I'd do on my first video was show some of the stuff I've been playing recently to show the wide sort of range of taste I've got. And you probably have a lot of these in common, but we'll have a look and see. First one is ZZ Top, and this is ZZ Top's first album. Entitled ZZ Top's first album, and you'll see from the big Prime Cut label on here that this is a reproduction, not an original. Comes with a nice inner sleeve though, of lots of shots from the early days, without beards, some with beards. ZZ Top looking a little bit younger than they do now, and this is on Warner Brothers Records. Like I said, it's a repress. A great album, probably my favourite ZZ Top album, I would say. Excellent blues, and it's also got the one of these WA nice price inserts with it as well. Next up we've got Kevin Ayers, and this is one of those 2-for albums. It's got The Joy of a Toy and Shooting at the Moon. Joy of a Toy is a great album by Kevin Ayers. It's on the Harvest label, and it was his first album, and it's, like I said, it's also got the album Shooting at the Moon on here as well, and that features Mike Oldfield and David Bedford. I'm not quite as keen on that one, it's a little bit more experimental, but Kevin Ayers is pretty hard to beat when he's at his best, and The Joy of a Toy, the original version, is a lot of money to buy if you're looking for that one. It's probably around the £100 mark, where this was about 15-16 quid for this. It's just a good to have the two. You can't afford to let £100 for an original, or find one. And you'll know Kevin Ayers from Soft Machine, bass player in Soft Machine, part of the Canterbury movement and all that. Next album is J.J. Cale, and this one's called Really. And again, I think this is a repress, early 80s repress. But you know what you're getting with J.J. Cale. Blues all the way, laid back kind of stuff. Mercury Records. And you find his stuff quite readily in the UK. Most of its stuff's around about £5. And considering he probably didn't sell that many records in the UK, it's amazing how much stuff of his stuff is out there. Next up we've got Classics Nouveau. And this is an album from 1983 called Secret. You'll probably know them mainly for a song called Is It a Dream, which I think was from 1982. This is the album that came after that. Good album though, this one. This was sort of a blind buy for a couple of quid on Liberty Records. And if you know them, you'll know the front man is Sal Solo, who's quite a standout front man. Then we've got the Dickies, a group whose albums I very much enjoy. I've got a few of their albums, and I saw the Dickies last year without lead singer, who was taken ill not long before the gig, and he was replaced by the guy on the merch store, amongst other people who popped up in the audience. Guitarists from Girls' School, all sorts of people doing lead vocals in his absence, and it was just a fantastic night. Very much an adventure, but great fun. And this is Second Coming, like I said. This is a German pressing. It's from 1989. Getting Dickies stuff not too easy to come by in the UK. Quite a big band obviously in the early days, Banana Splits and all that sort of thing. You see the singles ran quite a lot, the obvious singles, but the albums not so much. Next up we've got a band from Leicester called Diesel Park West. The first time I'd heard this album as well. This is on the Food label, Home of Blur and all that, and I think this is from 1989 as well, on EMI Records. 1991, sorry. But it's just sort of your standard rock really, nothing very exciting. Thought I'd give it a try. It's an interesting one. Bob Dylan, Under the Red Sky. One of Bob Dylan's more recent efforts. Well, when I say more recent, God, that's I'm really old, but I suppose all the classic stuff were in the 60s and 70s, and some good stuff in the 80s as well, but this is right at the end of the 80s. 1989, I think, this one. And this is on Red CBS label. And took some stick for this one, did Bob, because it's got a lot of almost nursery rhyme, childlike songs on it. Apparently made for his daughter, so you can't knock that really, can you? But I quite like this one, Bob Dylan Under the Red Sky, but not one of his more common ones, obviously. Dave Edmunds, Riff Raff, 1984. This one has quite a lot of Jeff Lynne production on it. He worked with Jeff Lynne on and off quite a lot over this period of his career. And this is a German pressing again on Arista. And yeah, harmless fun from Dave Edmunds as always. He's really made a bad album. He's always pretty consistent. You know what you're going to get from Dave Edmunds. It's usually pretty good. Here's a good one. Faith No More, Introduce Yourself. They were introduced to me by my sister, who was a big sort of rock and metal fan. I think she had this on cassette originally. This is original UK pressing, and this is on London Records. And this is a really good album. This is fairly early Faith No More. This comes with the insert as well, and it's got Chinese arithmetic on it, which is my favourite, one of my favourite Faith No More albums. Yeah, lyric sheet here as well. Again, a band whose vinyl you won't find very often in the UK, not the original versions, you know, looks like vinyl was going a bit out of fashion by then. Hard to come by. A classic. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? This is an original UK pressing. You know this album. Fantastic album. Mercy Mercy Me is in a league of its own, really. It's on Motown. Like I said, original UK pressing, this one. I managed to pick this one up for about 15 quid, so I was really pleased with it. It's in great condition. Let's see. And it's got the lyric in there as well, which probably not always out there that often, I would say. Arlo Guthrie. I think this one's from 1973. This is called Last of the Brooklyn Cowboys. And this is on reprise. Good record, this one. Country. Here's a good one. In Spiral Carpets. This is Peel Sessions. And it's always good to have the Peel Sessions 12-inch singles, mini albums, whatever you want to call them. And I've never seen this one anywhere else before other than when I picked it up at a record fair. Strange Fruit, this one's on. And got a few, like I said, got a few Peel Sessions records. And they were pretty cool to have at the time when they came out in the 80s. And this has got one of my favourite In Spiral Carpet songs on it. Keep the Circle Around is the first song on the second side of this one. You all know John Peel, considered to be a bit of a musical hero in the UK. Used to listen to his late night show, and that's how I really got into alternative music, really, in the very late 70s to the late 80s, early 90s. I was listening to his programme regularly, and it's where I got a lot of ideas for the new stuff that I heard. I heard an awful lot of stuff for the first time on his programme, Joy Division. Rap, the first time I heard, you know, hardcore rap was on his radio station, radio programme. Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, Ice-T. Wouldn't have heard any of those if it wasn't for John Peel. Got me into hip-hop in a big way. This is La Sera, Sees the Light. I saw her live a couple of years ago. Very good. It's kind of, if you don't know it, it's sort of West Coast jangly pop. Surf pop. This is on Handy Ant Records. It's one that you can pick up relatively cheap on vinyl, which is what I like to see, really. But yeah, very talented, very enjoyable to watch and to listen to. Right, Led Zeppelin 3. My favourite Led Zeppelin album. This is a 2015 pressing. It's got the wheel and everything. All works beautifully. And I bought a couple of 2015 pressings of their stuff. Quite late to the show with Led Zeppelin. But I'm a big fan of this one, number 3. And just comes on the standard Atlantic label. But yeah, really good record, very bluesy, which is what I like. And not too many ego clashes, it seems, on that one. Then we've got Metallica, Kill 'Em All. Not in great condition, this one, but for £4 you ain't going to find it any better than that for that condition. This is an original UK pressing, really good album, really enjoyed this one. Kill 'Em All, you all know it. It's on Music for Nations Records. And you can see, like I said, there's a bit of damage to the front and back, but the record's in really good condition. Plays really, really well. And lyric sheet with it as well, as you can see again. Not in great condition. Some water damage by the looks of things, I'd guess, the front of there, but the record played absolutely great. And like I said, for £4, couldn't leave it there. Nick Lowe, Quality Street. I was saying about these being some of the records I've been playing recently. Well, we've had Christmas not too long ago. And this is probably Nick Lowe's last album, I think. So he's still doing it. This came out in about 2013, this one. There's some Christmas songs on here. Which could be Christmas every day. Christmas Can't Be Far Away, Christmas at the Airport, which is brilliant. And the coda to I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly recommend this album. Like I said, just came out 3 years ago. Nice little in of that. And that's what the label looks like. And finally, John Otway and Wild Willie Barrett, and this is Deep and Meaningless on Polydor. And I remember listening to them in the late 70s. I think this is from 1978, this album. I remember seeing them on the Earl Grey Whistle Test, and that was what switched me onto them in the first place. Late night programme on BBC Two back in the 70s and 80s. And that's, like I said, that's on Polydor. Okay, that's it for my first video. Hope you liked it. Like I said, I've got a very wide range of music that I enjoy listening to. And if you like, subscribe, that'd be really nice. Cheers. Bye.